thirsty and I could use some water.
Did she say that's a good word, Mr. Wilson? Speaking of Mr. Wilson, Carly clearly aired that she's not a Nazi.
So, oh, good.
Can you tell
Oh, yeah,
give me my water
Yeah, get
back?
Abby's water back.
Maddie moved it. I did
You touch it last.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any questions, guys, on the homework?
That's gross.
Which one is the one that wasn't so
I didn't
Brian?
touch it.
20.
Shut up. I know you did.
Or 31.
Yeah.
31.
Like 25 minutes.
But I didn't. Where the heck did it go? I love you too, guys. I had it.
Your mom's gonna get
Yeah, that's a fat zero. Here, that's a fat zero.
Well, Riley and
My cousin Riley?
I know,
Yeah.
my dad
Riley.
we sent him, we each sent him a picture of us together.
you know that
And a lot of humans, I had to give him a towel. Look what he said, isn't that so Yeah, and then he was like, "Why
I still feel like
And then Riley was like, oh.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make some
Okay.
I know,
It's me now.
but then we were very
Thanks. I wrote the scene of pirates.
S? Not as.
That's not my handwriting style. I wrote it yesterday, but that's not my handwriting.
Alright, so guys, well, wait. Okay. Okay, so on 31, we have to get rid of the I in the denominator, so we have to multiply by the conjugate. So whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top as well. Now on top, I just have that to distribute. So it's going to be 6i minus 3i squared. We'll deal with that in a second. The bottom is going to be 4 minus 2i plus 2i minus I squared. Those will cancel because we use that conjugate. Anytime you see I squared, it should be negative 1. So we see that here and here. So this will become 6i minus 3 times negative 1 over 4, and then it's minus a negative 1. So like that negative here is going with those two, so don't use that. So it's 4 minus a negative 1. So this is going to be 6i plus 3 on top, and then just a 5 on the bottom. What's up? No. Which one? 47? 27, yeah, I'll go back to that. I would do it anyway, though. That's what you guys wanted.
Aww.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Kinsey, who's your favorite player?
Oh, Mrs. Donovan.
Favorite player, what?
Mr. We were talking to Mr. Donovan this morning, and we said, oh, did she tell you the Gruber story? And he's like, whatever she says is true. She was dating 2 guys at once.
Oh
and we
my
were like,
gosh.
whoa.
Player.
He said for a few weeks we were dating 2 guys at once.
Really? Because that other guy moved away.
Oh!
You get my clothes.
It wasn't no.
It was not no.
Did the guy figure it out?
Like, then I broke up with him once I decided I wanted to date this guy.
Oh, you had to. She had to make sure.
And then he told me he wanted me to fly out to break up with him in person, and I was like,
Who,
oh,
David Gruber?
Yeah, David Gruber.
Wait, where did he live?
You broke up with
Washington,
him
D.C.
over a phone
Yeah, he
call?
lived in Washington, D.C. How was I supposed to go break up with him in Washington, D.C.?
You were together for 6 years.
How was the plan?
Send him a note by Yeah.
What was the plan though? Like you were gonna move out there at some point?
Yeah.
She wouldn't even be here right now.
Yeah. I know.
You should be Mrs. Gruber in Washington D.C.
She just called and said, we're done. I met someone. Here is this.
So that's going to become 6 minus 1, so 5. And this is going to be over 10.
It was Mr. Peter Parker.
Oh, good. That's nice cover.
From Spider-Man.
Okay. Now at this point, you guys, all of these need to be divided by the same number, so they all can be divided by 5. Okay. And so that's how we end up with 1 plus 1i over 2. Okay.
Anyways.
Hey, the mask covers up when I blush, so that's kind of a positive.
So, are you guys really blushing about it?
Oh, did you see on the forensics paper instead of public address, he accidentally typed cubic address?
Did he really? Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it says cubic address.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Of course.
Did you guys point that out to him?
No, Carter pointed it out. Actually, Kinsey, it wasn't me.
I'm sorry. I'm so glad Carter's gonna be in forensics.
That's so funny. He's so embarrassed.
Oh, I have not heard. I think I need to say something to him about it.
So, what's your favorite category?
Poor Carter.
I mean, that was Rolson.
Talk about the snow this weekend. 15 inches now. What? No, it's not 15.
Is it tomorrow?
It is supposed to be a lot of snow, but
We were taking
Tomorrow?
Maybe.
Or Saturday?
Saturday. Starting Friday night, but into Saturday is supposed to get better.
Good
So
thing.
this goes away. So I have a negative I squared. So that's a negative 1. Square root of 4 is just 2. And so this is going to become plus. So 9 plus 2 would just be 11, I believe. Hopefully that's what I have.
Well, 9 plus 2 is 11.
I know, I'm just worried that that didn't sound right. And then there's a question still about 27 that we're going to go back to.
I spilled water in my mask and now it's very uncomfortable.
You get like chafing in your mask.
We're gonna
So 27 asks for you to multiply this number by its conjugate. So remember the conjugate is just the opposite of the I there.
This side is softer.
Oh no, it's okay. And then just foil that.
Oh.
Now just say cute trim.
Oh, on my mask?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I need a ride home. I want to give you a ride.
Don't you live with cross the street from school?
Why you should give you a ride home?
Huh?
Yeah, next take me home.
What?
Watch out.
I already have to take Elena with Kansas. And my car isn't running out.
Take her home
I wanna
15.
take them home.
One of them.
Why do you have to take us to
I'm going to Kansas, so.
How many people can you have in your car? Are there rules about that?
I'm past it now.
Oh.
Yeah, I see you
Abby, did I ask you yet if you watched that show, the Pack yet?
Yeah,
The one with the dogs?
yeah.
Oh, I did it.
Wait,
No, not.
show you something.
I told you to watch the one with the weird blonde people. But then there's the show. This show is like Amazing Race, but people with their dogs. It's called The Pack.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
know.
cute. Whoa. But yesterday a guy got in trouble because he took his dog outside of its seatbelt, like in the car, and that's not safe for the dog apparently.
I have a dog seatbelt for 2 months.
Guys, you're wrecking my calendar. It's like my.
Wait, we're never having another
Holiday.
Virtual Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
virtual Monday.
You want to go to school?
Jared, I got a compliment. That's some good handwriting.
Is PJ Day next Wednesday? Heck
Yeah.
Why did they
No, it's
split
not.
I told people about the pencil.
It's not a sore subject.
Oh, you want to talk about sore subjects? You were the one that started it. Sure.
Jerk.
Yeah, sure.
I wonder what the online video. Oh wait, we weren't filming during.
So earlier today, rather than filming that's not today, no. 12:15, how about? It's in February, Chesterfield. The other day, or earlier today in my geometry class, rather than filming the notes, I filmed Pictionary.
Oh.
So I had to like redo it, but it was I'm like, why are they on the screen? Like, what are they
Are we
doing?
gonna play Pictionary?
Well, if you guys wanted to, I was
No,
gonna.
I don't want to play
We should do something different.
A fun.
We could do a fun Kahoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, check the temperature. Is it really 50?
Holy cow! It's 39. Oh wait, no, it's 52.
Oh.
So we got virtual one. We got a virtual one.
When do we have virtual Mondays? That's awesome.
And this day's the first one, 3 days after.
Yeah, 3 weeks now.
My mouth.
That's why it's just, that's what you know, it's freaking.
What? You did?
Absolutely love it.
I thought you said my mom got a tongue piercing.
I really wanted to try it.
Yeah, I don't think my mom.
I can see your mouth.
In college, I went with my friend to get, like, he was getting his tongue pierced. I went with him to go watch. Yeah, it was the guy.
Oh, so friendly guy.
I don't think he was at that time. I don't know. I don't keep in touch with him. His name was Todd. Yeah.
Why do we have a test on Tuesday? Because it says never.
Oh, because the board is the higher power. You're
And
right.
why do we have virtual Mondays?
I don't know.
I mean, so we
Just
only
you and
have,
Bennett do.
we only have
You
3
change.
days.
I do not write that.
Okay. So, no.
Yeah, fair point.
And then you have 2 days to get that.
We're up to
Oh.
yeah, we have
Maybe
six.
it's not that bad.
No, it's them writing all over my board.
What do you mean?
Give me.
Actually,
Okay.
did that?
No, that's stupid.
So when you get your tongue pierced, there's actually a chunk of skin that like falls out because it's a hollow needle.
One
So like
time I
they held his like tongue out with like a tongs and it like they dropped it through and all of a sudden it like fell on the ground and his mouth started watering like crazy.
No, Kinsey, I don't
One
want to hear
time
it.
I was at Matthew's house for like Ella's birthday party or something, and there was like this desk they had, and I went like this when I was laughing, and I made like my tongue. There's blood like everywhere. Remember that?
They actually still have a shrine to Kinsey's blood at their house and he's just being quiet about it. Okay, so
I want to.
hey guys, so
The story's over.
Stop.
it's over. Sorry. Okay. So, you guys, we need to simplify the radicals here. So, our radical expressions. So, if you guys recall, these were the ones where we talk about like a remainder and what's left inside. So, since these are fourth roots, we want to look for groups of what?
Four. Really?
Yep.
Calling words.
So, we're going to break up the 32, and then we're going to break up like this fourth root of x to the 8th, the fourth root of y to the 11th. We'll kind of break those up as we go here. Okay. So 32 is what and what?
8 times 4 is 32.
Okay, guys.
That's why I remember.
Really? I've never heard that before. Okay. So, we're looking for groups of 4. So we have 4 2's here. So I can take that 2 out. Oh no. And I'm left with 2 inside. Then I have x to the 8 over 4. Do you guys remember that? So that fractional exponent, the fourth root of x to the 8th, I can write that as x to the 8 over 4. Stop. Which is x squared with no remainder. Then I have y to the 11th over 4. How many times is 4 going to 11? Twice, with a remainder of 3. that's what's left inside there. You could probably, people don't complain about being cold.
Break down.
Not quite yet.
After
I
this
didn't-
job.
I didn't bring anything else.
Since we made it through one. We even made it through two. Alright, now ones like this, I would actually suggest, since they're both the same root, I'm actually going to put them together. Because then I know for sure I'm pulling out enough information here. So this is going to be the fourth root. This is all being multiplied. 240, x to what power? 23rd, thank you. So we're going to break up the 240, and again we're looking for groups of 4. And then we're going to break up the x to the 23rd, or like the fourth root of x to the 23rd. So 240,
24 and 10.
so 24 and 10, yeah, we're using the same numbers there, but 4 and 6, 2 and 10,
2 and 5.
2 and 5. 2 and 5. 2 and
10
5.
doesn't go.
oh, thank you,
2 and 5.
thank you.
It's a good thing we're here.
Yeah, no kidding,
Yeah.
holy cow, what would I do without you guys?
Probably cry.
Pretty much.
We have David Gruber in Washington,
Stop.
D.C.
Okay, so if you look, I have 4 2s, so the 2's going to come out.
Did you just give me?
And then what's going to be left inside? 15. 3 and 5 is left inside, so 15 is left in. Then I have x to the 23rd power, but the fourth root of that, so, sorry, 23 over 4. So 4 goes into 23.
7. No, 5.
5
I'm
times.
sorry. I don't know.
5 times, so that'd be 20, and with a leftover of
3.
3.
3.
For
Good.
some reason, I don't know what I was like.
Wait, oh yeah. Wait, I was thinking
28
28.
times, wait, 9 times 3 is 21?
No, 7 times 3.
27.
Or,
Wait, 7 times 3 is 21. You said 9 though.
I'm done multiplying.
And that's it.
You can tell it's Friday.
36 inches.
Yeah,
Where's that two on the outside?
because we had 4 2's here.
Oh.
Remember that? Yeah. Okay.
Not anymore.
So then we talked about adding and subtracting and also multiplying radicals. But if you recall, we can only add or subtract like radicals. So if the radicals are exactly alike, so 24 and 6 are not alike. So I need to simplify that.
No, I'm
So the 24, I'm going to break up and simplify that. So 3 squared to 24, I'm going to simplify. So the 3 is still going to be there. 24 is 4 and 6. And again, this one's kind of a clue that I'm going to somehow probably be using 6. Square root of 4 I know is 2. So 3 times 2, square root of 6, which is 6 square roots of 6. Oops, I could write what actually happened. And then this is just going to come down. Now I have the same radical. So now I can add those together. But what's the number in the front on the second one?
7.
It's going to end up being 7 because this is a 1. So 6 plus 1, so this is going to be 7 root 6.
So smart. No, we don't add the 6s.
No, because they're kind of just like a variable. So it's like, it'd be like adding this.
No, Kinsey, you said you don't add the 6s. And,
If you let me finish, I said add the sixes together and it remains.
Okay.
You're so needy.
Now, example 4 is really similar, that we want to get the same radical, but this time it's a cube root. So I have to simplify those cube roots. And so if it's a cube root, I'm looking for groups of 3. So 24, 8 and 3?
Oh.
12 and 2.
6 and 4.
Well, either way, you'll end up with the same thing at the bottom we do. So I have a group of 3 2s, so I can pull that out. And then there's just a 3 left inside. $81.
9.
A group of 3 3s. So that gets pulled out, and there's 1 left. So now I can subtract them because they're like radicals. So 2 minus 3 would be
Negative.
-1 or just negative. Okay.
I thought you were making fun of me at first.
No, that's fine. You could just have a negative. It probably looks better without the -1 there. But. All right. And then finally, we can, oh, I guess not finally, there's still another little part for that.
Yeah.
This can also be distributed in. Now multiplying, we can multiply if they're not like radicals. So the 2 squared root of 3 times 5 is going to be 10 squared root of 3. So I just multiply the numbers in the front minus 2 squared root of 3 times the square root of 3. So that's going to be 2 square root of 3 square root of 3. Square root of 3 square root of 3 is going to be square root of 9. And that's all I would simplify it to be. We okay?
Me?
Everyone?
Yeah, I'm good. Everyone there okay?
Okay.
Daddy, don't lie if you're
Sleepy?
Yeah,
Jack's
Jackson.
sleepy?
Yeah. Jax.
Worried about him?
I'm a little worried about you.
You're worried you're sleepy.
Jax, are you okay?
Okay.
He's not.
All right, let's finish up these two.
And then we go
A
inside.
break. We could probably, will you guys complain about being cold outside?
No, we don't.
I don't have
Either you could say.
It's 54.
If we need to, we
That's
can
pretty
use
nice.
it.
What was that?
Oh, yeah. No, I did.
It's actually 54. Okay. So, the next couple problems, you guys, we can have a radical in the denominator. So what would I need to multiply in example 6?
The
It's
square root of 3.
Just just multiply it by itself. Now if I do that to the bottom, I have to do that to the top.
The word right out of our
So square root of 3 times the square root of 18, which we'll simplify here in a second. The bottom, square root of 3 times square root of 3 is just going to be square root of 9, which is just 3. Now, square root of 18, I want to simplify. And 3 and 3. So I can take out a 3. Now if I look at this, can I combine the top? No. No, they're not like radicals. And then I can't simplify as much as you might want to because it looks like there's 3's everywhere. This one can't be divided by 3 because one's a root and one's not. This one could be divided by 3 except that this one can't, so they'd have to all be divided by 3. So we just leave it this way. Okay. What if it had been open? You would have spilled all of these left.
And my phone.
And then it would have been wet as pants.
Yeah, Jack.
That was nice.
Yeah, Jax, what the heck?
We're really worried about you now.
That's one of my kids' favorite lines from a movie is in what Billy Madison when he like wets his pants on purpose so that it's cool to wet your pants. Have you ever seen Billy Madison?
Yeah.
No.
The Swan one? No, Dolphin. That's Happy Gilmore.
Oh.
Billy Madison's the one where he goes back to school.
He's like 30.
He's really.
And he has a crush on the teacher?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Whoa.
Wait, he goes back to middle school?
He goes back to all the schools. Like in order to inherit his dad's business, he's got to graduate from every grade. Because I think his dad like paid his teachers when he was little.
So he has a crush on all the teachers?
No, just his kindergarten teacher.
Oh,
Again.
it's the same teacher he had when he was little, and he has a crush on.
No, he like goes back and meets the kindergarten teacher because he needs to take kindergarten over.
I've never seen the movie actually.
There are a few inappropriate scenes.
That's what I started to think.
So you close your kids' eyes?
Yeah, pretty much. They get uncomfortable about it, so they don't.
Oh,
My
with,
brother does that too.
with the kindergarten teacher and the guy? Oh.
No, whenever like people even kiss movies and all goes.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what my kids still do.
That's
Well, at least Griffin. Griffin does. He's a sixth grader.
He's like,
Payne doesn't say it's gross anymore. He just.
he's like, oh, what shows me?
I know, we heard kids watching this on the TV, like, what the heck are they talking about?
All right. Now this is one where we are going to be able to simplify because 56, 8, and 44 can all be divided by 4, can they be? 4? 4? I think 4 works, actually. Divide by 4. Because 56 divided by 4 is what?
14.
And 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 44 divided by 2 is, or 4 is 11.
It's 11. Took the words right out of your mouth.
Right, gosh, thanks. Thanks for being here. Alright, do you guys want to go outside?
Yeah.
I would be okay with it as long as you guys won't be like complaining and tell me you're cold.